Okay, friends, for those of you who said they wanted to come on the herbalist journey with me, our first homework for our first module, which January is our immune system. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in my kind of summary of what we went over. But I had, the homework is making a tea 4 ways, or a remedy, basically a ingestible remedy 4 ways. First of all, I pulled out the things that I thought would be kind of good to try because of what I had in stock. So I have jasmine flowers, which I've ruled out because they're not on our list at all for the year. So I won't be using that for homework at all. But I purchased the jasmine for calming for Ziggy a long time ago. So I do want to actually get to using it. And one tip too is that I always make sure I label. So I have had this herb since 12/21. Of course, it's been in a glass jar, so that means it's fresher than keeping it in something like a bag. I've only had these a couple of months. I figured there was only a small amount. I'll use it very quickly. In fact, I thought it would be gone by now because I purchased it for myself for my digestive system, and then never got around to it because life gets in the way. The other things that I have, and this one probably should have been in a glass jar as well because I traveled with it from Steamboat. I've had it a while, so it may not be fresh anymore. I'm not using it today, but it's lemon balm. It is on our list. Slippery elm. This is a powder, and this is a leaf, and obviously you can tell this is a flower, right? So the parts of the plant matter, and I'm speaking from my existing knowledge here. So slippery elm, I just saw a really cool recipe for tummy balls, so diarrhea, and like just tummy issues, tummy gurgling, but mostly, really needing to like soothe the tummy. And it's literally just the slippery elm powder and honey, and making balls of that. So the herb that I've chosen today is going to be marshmallow root, which is Althea, my favorite Grateful Dead song, officinalis. It smells very earthy because it's the root it's going to, probably, right? I have this little cup, and just a teacup, and the first version, of 4 tests that we're supposed to do, and I'm just going to do a teaspoon. This is a tablespoon, but a teaspoon is 1/3 of a tablespoon, so I'm just going to take this little bit of amount, put it in my teacup, and I'm going to use hot water. Pause. Okay, I had to get that off the fire. You can see in the background, nice little warmy fire. So, so that's our first one, and there's, yeah, it's hot, very hot. 4 different types that I'm doing here. So, first is fast hot. So, I'm just gonna do about 1/2 cup because this is just a test. I don't need the whole cup, and then. Couple of more here options. So same, I'm going to use the same amount each time. And I only have one of those little strainers, so I'll just strain the rest. This one is going to be slow hot, so I'm going to start the timer. Same. And then the other 2 are slow cold. That one is actually 1 to 8 hours. The fast, the quick one is going to be just a few minutes. The other one is going to be 30 minutes. The slow, warm, long. Okay, this one's just cold. So I'm just going to leave the cold one in there for a longer period of time. A little bit more. Again, I did about 4 ounces for all of them. Okay, so, and then the last one is called a decoction. Pause, and let me get this out. I'll be right back. All right, sorry. So the last cup I need, using all my cups. Well, I don't need this one yet, actually. So a decoction is basically just a slow boil. So that's what I did want to do, though. I wanted to test, make sure I had the right amount. Yep, okay. So that's, let's use this whole amount. That's about 6 ounces. You know, you're a good baker or herbalist when you can kind of judge what your amounts are and not really measure them anymore. I learned that from my grandmother. Okay, so now I'm going to do like 2 teaspoons, since it's a little bit more. Okay? And I'm just going to put this back over the fire. I'm going to bring it up to a boil. Simmer it for, 5 to 10 minutes. Once it's boiling, and then I'm going to take it off the heat and let it steep for 15 minutes. So we'll be back. Okay, so on to our first results. So this is the quick and hot version test and of marshmallow. And you can see, there we go. It's very pale, light yellow, very faint. So for me, if I needed like a better remedy, faster remedy, maybe I would use more, but it still feels very potent to me. 1 teaspoon to 4 ounces. It feels very energetic to me. And this, tapping into the energies of things is subtle and takes trust of your body. But if you just get quiet and use all your senses, it still smells very earthy. And what it's doing is it's sending this ripple up my arms to my throat. To my heart. A little bit into my brain. And definitely into my emotional field because it's bringing up tears. It's there's a memory there. I can't tell you what that memory is, though. What is that? I think it's Scotland. I did a lot of herb testing in Scotland and Oregon. It might be Oregon. I see all the green around me, so I know it's somewhere very green, which means it's not Steamboat. It's not Florida. Yeah. And I'm old. Not young. I'm grown, I should say. I'm grown. Because I don't feel old even at 50. All right, taste. It tastes like it smells. Sometimes they don't. Now when I drink it, so this interesting, the smell goes up my arm, the vibration of it goes up my arm, into my heart, into my throat. Especially like right here, which has been sore. So that's cool. But when I drink it, I really feel what it's doing in my gut. Like it goes right into my large intestine. So large intestine is above, it's below the stomach and above the small intestine. Yeah, I feel like the most work that it will do is on my large intestine. It's very, very subtle. I like that. I like that it's also very earthy, very mild, but powerful. I'm going to turn off the camera so that I can get into the feeling of that emotional state. Because of course, when someone's watching, you know, you kind of tend to shut down. So I urge you, when those things come up, to just sit there and let the tears come for about a minute or two and not judge them or try and figure them out, and just feel into them. And be present with your emotional body. So your physical body is the dense physical body. The emotional body is about this far off your body. And then we get into the other layers of your aura, which we don't need to get into. But I do feel like this actually oozes into a little bit of those other layers of my aura. To the 5th is what I'm feeling. My intuition is telling me it goes into the 5th layer of my aura. So if you don't know about the aura, go look up layers of the aura and you'll see what 2, 3, 4, and 5 are. They go all the way up to 12, 14, even in some books, as your chakras do. Most people just know about the 7 chakras in your physical system, but there are more that are off your body in your aura. So whenever something like that, especially an herbal remedy comes up, brings up something for you, study what the energetics of that are and where it is in your body, and just ask your body to release it. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I release you. I forgive you. I love you. I heal you. Whatever comes up for you that you need, right? And let that go. So I will do the second part in about a half an hour when that one is done. Alrighty, now I'm going to put this one in here and pour this 30-minute slow steep. So that's going to be a little bit stronger, right? It's not going to be as pale. Nope, it's as pale. She's a light little color. Maybe a little bit darker. I don't think so, though. Not much. Definitely stronger in taste. So this one was steeped for 30 minutes. And same amount, 4 ounces of water, 1 teaspoon of plant roots. Definitely smells stronger. Now it's starting to smell like a cereal. And of course, the word marshmallow comes from, well, no, the disgusting sugary square, you know, puffball, marshmallow, comes from marshmallow because, oh yeah, it's an expectorant. So I'm starting to feel that, which means it will bring up stuff from your lungs, which we store a lot of emotion in. Wow. There's that memory again. Definitely Oregon. So we must have used this in Oregon. I got bronchitis a couple of times there. That, I think, is what's coming up for me. And I was sick. I wasn't sick a ton, but I remember being sick, which makes you feel sometimes like, you know, maybe you were sick all the time. As a child, I had a lot of this stuff going on, ear, nose, and throat stuff. Come to find when I was in high school years that I had a deviated septum, which they corrected. Now, I still got sick after that. I got sick in Oregon, and I would get bronchitis and sinusitis. I smoked a lot of marijuana in those years. So, you know, I had some of that in there, that smoke in my lungs. I don't believe the plant is bad. I do believe too much of anything is not a good thing. And every herb has its place, right? So there is an herbal remedy or healing or purpose, I should say. There's a herbal purpose for marijuana. I do believe that we overuse it. That's a whole nother video and conversation. So, however, I believe too much smoke in your lungs. Wow, it's definitely bringing up. So I was just in Las Vegas, and when I feel into what it's bringing up intuitively, it's bringing up smog and cars, exhaust, carbon monoxide. It's bringing up the, where we stayed, the air duct system. I feel like it's bringing that up. And the emotion that it's bringing up is like overuse of my voice. Feeling like I have to maybe know everything or speak. Yeah, it's more like feeling like I have to speak instead of just listening and being quiet. It's only mildly stronger, so 5-minute versus 30-minute. I would probably use the 30-minute one if I was going to make myself tea, because it doesn't, sometimes when teas sit for a long time, right, they don't taste as good. They're super bitter. You have to add more honey. That is amazing. I did not have that before this. That need to bring up, which is great because yes, let's purge whatever I picked up in Las Vegas. My judgment there. Okay. Yeah, really good takeaways. I'll be back for the 2-hour experiment. I said I'll see you for the 2-hour one, but I forgot. Our decoction is ready. Wow. Wow. Okay, now it's yellower. See that? Definitely more like a, not to be vulgar or gross, just a really light kind of, or not light even, I was going to say a urine color, like a maybe not, you know, not the extreme, but not super healthy, like your urine is supposed to be clear, right? So I'm going to toss the one that I hadn't finished yet, because I'm glad that I did 4, can hear my drain. I'm glad that I did 4 ounces, because I'm not sure I would want to drink. Oh my gosh. Remember I said it tastes, starting to smell like cereal? I wonder if it's related to oat at all, because that is what I'm feeling, smelling for sure. Oh my gosh, very strongly so. So here's now what happened to the differences in the roots, you know, the actual roots leftover, was that the first ones were still quite yellow. I shouldn't have this on here. Just realized. Let's put that there. Yeah. So the first 2 were still looked very similar to the original state. And this one looked cooked and was like oatmeal kind of gets. Yeah, definitely smells like kind of an oatmeal smell to it. It's also sweet. I have failed to mention, I don't need honey, which is rare for me. And I don't, you know, I don't feel like, it's not bitter at all. Herbs are can be typically bitter. It's not. It's very sweet, and that's very hot because it just came off. You can see the steam even. Energetically, it has changed. I almost feel like, and I think I had it on a little bit longer than was recommended. I had it boiling for a few minutes. Okay, don't cross your legs. All of her properties are still there. She's still the same plant. But what it feels like is more of her energy is in the water. She smells so much stronger. would think this might be the way if you wanted this for a medicine to do this. I'll be interested in seeing what the cold infusion, and I might actually let that one just go overnight. It said 1 to 8 hours in the book. But in my lesson plan, I believe it says, well, maybe it says only 2 hours. Let's have a look. In 1 to 8 hours. Where did I read overnight? Oh, yeah, in my book. So in my lesson plan, it says 1 to 8 hours. And in the book, which is one of our tutorial books, The Gift of, let me hold it up for you. It's always nice to have a visual. So this is one of the books that is paired with this course. The Gift of Healing Herbs, Plant Medicines, blah, 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 by Robin Rose Bennett. The other books that I had used to do a little bit more research on marshmallow are the books that I've had for, I shouldn't do the math, it'll make me feel old, decades. 3 decades to be precise. The New Age Herbalist, which I love this book. I believe it's a compilation. It's a Gaia original. Wow, Gaia's been around for 30 years, huh? Yeah, it's a compilation. There are a lot of authors in this one. That does make me feel old. I have not had it that long. It says 1988. I know I haven't had it that long. But I can't actually say that I know haven't had it that long. I probably have had it since the 90s. So, Women's Book of Healing Herbs. This one is so great because this one's got a lot of remedies and practicum. I don't know if that's the word, but like this is where when I was making salves, when I first started making salves, but also, what's the thing I'm thinking of? We made a face thing out of oatmeal once in a little workshop I did. This one says 1998. 1999 copyright. So, I probably got this one in Steamboat. So, that's cool. Both of those confirmed for me a couple of the things intuitively that I was feeling about expectorant and about the lungs and about feeling it in your heart and then about feeling it in your large intestine. Okay, this is probably cooler. Sorry to slurp. It's lost some of its taste, though. I will say that. It tastes more... Yeah, I think the second one is better, taste-wise. Energetically, this one definitely feels stronger, but it's milder. Okay. My intuitive hits that I'm getting are that you would use them for different things. So if you needed an expectorant, you would do that second one. If you needed, still getting the expectorant faculties here. But this one definitely is going right to my, like liver. Juicy. I'm so glad, like I said, that I only made a few ounces of this because I don't feel like I should drink. How many ounces did I do? 4, 4, and 4, and then 6? I'm like, the more I'm drinking this hot one, the more I'm liking it. It's making me flushed. I can feel that. Hot things sometimes do that to me anyway, but I'm feeling like this is flaring. I need to take a layer off. Granted, because I had to heat up the wood stove on a day where it's 60 almost degrees outside. We have enough sun. I might have been able to use the kettle, actually. It's 73 degrees in here, so not necessarily a day for hot tea. All right, that's our 4th decoction. So now I will tune back in for the 2-hour one. All right, the final one of our test. This is the cold steep, which has sat here for about 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours. It was never had hot water, so that means it's not going to break down the plant as much. you're just going to get that sort of natural steep. So first of all, the herb kind of looks like the root, the leftovers kind of look like the last one, they're very softened and broken down, which is pretty cool. The color of it looks kind of very similar to the heated half an hour one. So it's light, not as dark as the heated on the stove, the decoction. As you can see, it's kind of that golden color, and well, it smells kind of like that one to me as well. So if you didn't want to heat the plant and you didn't want to break down, you know, for any reason, any of its properties, that heating does, or it's summer and you didn't want it hot, or you didn't want to use your wood stove, in my case, yeah, this one is very similar to that. Energetically, it feels very similar. It tastes similar. I kind of like the taste of this one cold as well. So 2 hours. You could probably leave it longer. It said 1 to 8 hours. So that would be interesting. That might be my next experiment, is to put it in, and maybe I'll do that. Because you can always kind of reuse the herb. I might go ahead and just put all of that in some water and leave it overnight and see what happens there in just some cold water. So, so yeah, that's marshmallow and 4 ways to use it as a tea. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you liked this, go out and get some marshmallow and do your own experiments and let me know how it goes. And I'll keep you posted on the rest. I will do a video on our January curriculum and the takeaways from that. That'll be a longer video. I'll tell you what, if you're open, I'll put a post for this as well. So, because a lot of you probably won't make it to the end of this combined video. But I may even do, like, you know, a half an hour kind of takeaways on the immune system for us and what we studied. So if you would like to do that live with me, let me know. Just reach out or comment below, or and like I said, I'll put it in the post as well. So, all right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Love you guys.